Youtooz Amalee. The outer box at first looks a bit basic, but actually does a really good job when it comes to the detail and merging the color, so I will give it a 9 out of 10. The inner box shows that Amalee is number 463 in the overall Youtooz series. In my honest opinion, I think the coloring and the detail for the inner box with the inclusion of the lighting design makes it stand out a bit more than the outer box, so I will give the inner box a 10 out of 10. In terms of the figure itself, it is very detailed and well designed, complementing a lot of the details that her old VTuber model had, but for some reason stands sideways and not perfectly straight, even with the back cape. So the figure itself gets a 9 out of 10. The stability is also not so great because of the leaning, so it will get a 4 out of 10. So Youtooz Amalee ends up being an 8 out of 10 for the total score.
Ooh.
What is it?
It's a grave bird helmet. I'm a burb. Come here, bring the ladder. I am burb. My aura is incomprehensible to the human mind.
Good over there.
Only
Good.
the tarnished fall, but the burb rises.
Youtooz CyYu. The outer box matches of course with his theme and color patterns, however it is kind of flat and not as well detailed, so I ended up giving the outer box a 7 out of 10. The inner box shows that CyYu is number 12 in the VTuber collection series, and shows a lot more detail in terms of his character and what he is representing as his VTuber avatar. However, it still lacks a bit of shading and coloring, which makes the overall images look a little flat, so I'll end up giving the inner box a 9 out of 10. The figure itself has a lot of hidden details that both portray who he is as a VTuber, as well as the type of content he provides to his community and to his fellow VTubers. Regarding that detail, it is well designed and well crafted and perfectly matches who he is, so I will give the figure itself a 10 out of 10. However, the stability is not as great, so I will have to end up giving it a 5 out of 10, which leads the total score for Youtooz CyYu to be a 7.75 out of 10.
I have like, the model! You see the thing I was telling you about earlier? Oh God, turn it off! Turn it off, Jenkins! Sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
Youtooz Rin Penrose. Though the outer box feels a little more simple, it actually is very well detailed and crafted and feels more mature, especially with the hidden penmanship of the purple flowers and roses, and also feels very well organized, which matches her character as a VTuber. So I will give the outer box a 10 out of 10. The inner box shows that Penrose is the 19th figure in the VTuber collection, has a little more detail, a good penmanship again, and fits her personality even better than the outer box, so if I could get it higher, I would, but the inner box also gets a 10 out of 10. The figure itself also complements a lot of her character in terms of the detail that they provide for both her model and her personality. The black and the white merging part of her hair proves how much detail and time was put into the figure. However, I would say her face feels a little more scrunched together than it did in the 2D model and doesn't quite match and makes it stand out compared to both the 2D art and the model itself that we have seen her in, so I will have to take a point away from that. But besides that, all the detail on it is good and matches her personality and her persona that she has presented to her community, so I will give the figure itself a 9 out of 10. The stability itself is also not very good though, so I will have to end up giving it a 3 out of 10, which leads the total score for Rin Penrose to be an 8 out of 10 for the Youtooz collection.
I need to remember to drink fluids. Any fluids. Water, coffee, gasoline. I've drunk blood before. I'll do it again if you're not careful. I need to remember to do that because I keep ending stream and then I'm like, why does my voice hurt?
I am including Amalee / Monarch as part of this collection group, even though she's put in the general Youtooz collection, so I'm including her in myself, which leads the final score for this section of the VTuber collection to be a 7.92 out of 10. Thank you for watching.